Are you looking to advance your character design skills? Visit silverjoinacademy.com. All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Art Talk. So today what I wanted to talk about was burnout and handling burnout. So I received a message from a student that I just want to read their concern and sort of address it. And I know a lot of people go through this, so I think this will be helpful for a lot of different artists out there, including yourself. And this reads, I hope this message reaches you. I wanted to ask you if it's okay, if you have any advice for burnouts and for those who are seeking out on finding an art job. As an animation major at Delta State University, I'm currently going through a bad art block or burnout, as some may call it. It is really hard getting back my motivation. I feel as if my animations and my drawings just aren't enough. Someday, I want to have interviews with studios, but I will definitely need a nice portfolio so that they can see what I am through my art. I know you have many experiences in the industry, and I just want to know what you have seen and been through and what has worked. Okay. So in regards to that, just dealing with the burnout aspect, we go through this, and especially in school, and I've seen it more in people in a school setting than almost on the outside. There's the industry burnout and there's the school burnout. The school burnout comes from having maybe too many classes on your plate, having to do too many assignments and trying to keep up with that. The industry burnout comes from just working too much overtime, maybe crunch time, maybe you're working on several different jobs at one time, and that can create that burnout. And ideally, you want to be able to maximize and get the best portfolio you can in order to show the studios what you're capable of doing. But really, and then therefore trying to get the jobs that you want in this market. And I can't reiterate enough the importance of showing up at conventions, showing up to gallery shows, networking, joining clubs, whatever it is that you can do. You need to make sure that you're persistent and you put in that effort in order to maximize more people seeing your artwork and potentially getting that opportunity. All right, so in regards to the burnout, I think one of the most important things, what you have to do as an individual is you find those signs. You know, what are those signs? What are you truly experiencing, right? Besides just saying I'm burnt out, well, what is it? Are you really experiencing fatigue? Are you experiencing depression, anxiety? What are some of those things that you're really going through? So identifying those things is going to be first and foremost when you start trying to break through this barrier of having that burnout. And what you have to do when you identify these, it all comes down to that real taking care of yourself. How are you going to take care of yourself? Really setting up a schedule for yourself and really trying to organize your day a bit more. Are there areas in your day that you feel like, am I wasting too much time doing other stuff that I really don't need to be doing? What are those things that I really should be focusing on doing? Making sure that you're giving yourself just enough exercise, enough time just to take walks, take breaks, and especially when you're at school, especially when you're at work on a job, even if you're working in your own studio, if you're not at a specific place, that you got to make sure that you're getting up, walking away, taking breaks. That's going to be extremely essential. I think it's also just very important just to make sure that you do reach out like you've done, but individuals, but also making sure, again, you're really seeking that support. Who are those friends? Who are the family members that you can talk to and express, I'm going through this burnout and it's just like, I just can't keep up, right? So this is where all of that restructuring needs to just kind of really come into play, and setting those expectations for yourself that are realistic, right? This is something we got to do. What are those realistic expectations? Maybe you're putting too much pressure on yourself to get something done that doesn't need to be done at this moment. Something that stuck with me many years ago, I read this book, and I don't remember the title of it, but it was by a philosopher. His name was Wallace Wattles. And what he said was, don't do tomorrow's work today. And that really stuck with me, because oftentimes as artists, we get into this phase where we're just going, we're drawing, we're working on the things that we need to be doing. And sometimes we'll stop doing something, or we finish something and go, oh, I finished it, so let me move on to this next thing that I need to do and start doing more stuff, right? Those are the things you don't want to do, because that's tomorrow's work. And when you set up a proper structure for yourself and a proper schedule, and even if you write it down hour to hour, like I have on a post-it note, I'm not going to show you what I've written, but on my post-it note, I have things written on here that break down time, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, just each different hour of what it is I need to achieve, right? If I got certain phone calls I need to make, or meetings, or if I need to address certain job requirements that I need to work on today, and I write those down. So what I'm doing is building up this structure for myself just to help me follow that. And that's why structure plays a huge role into burnout, to help you realize, you know what, maybe I don't need to spend that much time on this. Maybe I need to spend more time on that, and really try to break it down. And in between that, give yourself those breaks so that you're not burning out so much. And especially for a lot of the young artists out there, you got to keep that in mind. You're going to be young. You're going to go through burnout. It's just part of the process. It's something not to be afraid of, not to be scared of. And you realize sometimes the more burnout you go at a younger age, the more it won't be so prevalent as you get older, because you've sort of like figured things out and you've gone through all that, all right? It's always going to come and go in different phases, but I think that's a very important thing, just to sort of remember that this is just part of the package. It's part of what you got to go through. It's constant work, right? Everything that we do in our life is going to be constant work, which is very important just to keep in mind. And we're going to go through these situations that aren't ideal, that we don't want to have happen. So once again, just breaking down that schedule, really identifying what you want to do, need to get done. Don't do tomorrow's work today. Try to see if you can balance yourself in that way. Go. If you need to exercise, if you need to go on coffee breaks, whatever you need to do, you got to go through it. All right. I hope this helps answer some of the questions. Take vacations, if you can too. Just a nice relaxing vacation where you're not doing anything that has to do with art, because that could be very important too. I've gone through those phases where I don't do any art at all. I'm not drawing in my sketchbook. I'm not doing anything because I just need to take a little bit of a break. Very important for our mental health, okay? Hopefully that helps. Thanks so much for watching. Make it a great week, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Take care. Join SDA for less than $1 a day and drastically improve your skills at silverdrawingacademy.com.